To finance now, the ASX has finished up by more than 1% for a second straight day. Let's find out more from our late news expert, Scott Phillips from Motley. Scott, good evening. Those share market gains today, do we put them down to the US Federal Reserve hiking interest rates overnight?
Tomo, good evening. I think that's most of the story, really, honestly. We know that the US market is overheating inflation-wise, and to some degree, this is the Fed obviously stamping that out, but also giving the market some confidence that economic growth is continuing there. There was also some positive news out of China on retail sales in particular, which helped buoy the market overnight.
Scott, so can we expect something similar from the RBA here sometime soon?
This is the really tricky one. This is a $64 question or maybe $64,000 question. And it comes down to how the RBA feels inflation is tracking. In the US, inflation is far more significant than it is here at home. And the US Fed seems more concerned than the RBA is about what's happening right now. Now, time will tell whether the RBA is going to sit on its hands for too long. They're still saying, hey, wait and see, not yet, just cool your jets. The market is taking a very different view, though, expecting many rate rises by the end of the year. The jury's probably out, but I do expect we'll see something possibly by the third quarter of this year.
OK. And of course, as we mentioned earlier in the program, some pretty impressive unemployment figures out today.
Yeah, these were spectacular numbers, as you reported. And look, 4%. The good news here, by the way, is not only did unemployment fall, but the participation rate increased. That means more people entered the labour market. Either they got old enough to start looking for a job, or they were previously not even bothering to look for a job and started, and still the unemployment rate fell, which is spectacular. Often when we get a fall in the unemployment rate, it's because people gave up working. So this is really good. Hours worked increased meaningfully, and also, really importantly, the underemployment number also fell. That's the number of people who have a job but want more hours. This is a really, really strong set of numbers right across the board. That is good news. Now, Scott, before we go, Wall Street, how's it looking? I wish we'd give you positive numbers to finish with, Tomo. Well, it's not terrible yet, but it's been flip-flopping between positive and negative trading in early futures. Remains to be seen whether the US can take a serious lead, but it might be one of those sleep on it and hope tomorrow morning we wake up to some good news.
We'll wait and see. Scott Phillips, as always, thank you.
Thanks, Tomo.